Hey guys, Eric here from Bloat Games again, coming at you today making a little video. Today I wanted to talk about retro clones and want to pose a question out there to the community. And this is something. First off, let me preface this by saying I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but the question that I want to pose is: are retro clones, or can retro clones be considered plagiarism? Okay. And this is coming from a guy who is about to release his first retro clone game. But the I've noticed in some of the games that I have that the wording is almost just copy and paste it straight from the open gaming license or from another source. Okay, let me give you a little example. First off, we got this right here. White Box, fantastic medieval adventure game. You probably heard me rave about this before. This is my D&D. All right, I love this game. Love this game. In the monster section, or the monster manual section of this book, it describes Death Knights as: these terrible undead knights are clad in black armor and wield two-handed swords with great strength. In addition to increased damage each time a Death Knight successfully strikes a foe with their sword, the target loses 1 level. Alright, it's got a little more, but you'll see what I'm getting at. Now, in White Box Omnibus, another game that you probably see me review, or game book that you probably see me review by a totally different author. Let's check out what it has to say about Death Knights. Alright. Death Knight. These terrible undead knights are clad in black armor and wield terrible two-handed swords with great strength. In addition to increased damage each time a Death Knight successfully strikes a foe with their sword, the target loses 1 level. Now, and it has some more information, and the information is word for word. And what I'm getting at is that, like I said, I'm not accusing anybody. I don't know where the line stops and where it begins. As a publisher who's releasing a retro clone, with what I did, I went through and I tried to rewrite each thing as well or better than the game that I was cloning, in my own words. But just out of curiosity, I mean, like, how many times can you explain what the attribute strength represents, or charisma? Even writing in your own words, it's going to be fairly close to what someone else has written. I just didn't know if copy and pasting from another pre-existing thing, like in this example, the Death Knight, if it is ethically okay to just copy and paste, or if morally, as authors, if we're going to put written by, do we have to go in and actually rewrite and describe in our own words? Again, I'm not accusing anybody. I'm curious as to what the consensus of the community is. What do you expect from a retro clone? Are you okay with it just being, if you're putting a Death Knight in your retro clone, if you put just word for word, is that okay, or is that going too far? I know with the open gaming license, a lot of the information, of course, I'm not a lawyer by any means, but like they can't copyright mechanics, and so a lot of the information is able to be used through the open gaming license. So does that mean that the descriptions are open as well, or if you're explaining the attributes, is it okay to put word for word basically what they did, if their explanation of the attributes and how to use attributes are is concise and better than something you could come up with yourself? That's my that's my question, my current conundrum that I'm kind of tossing back and forth. I picked up a PDF copy, and I've ordered through Lulu a copy of Barbarians of Lemuria. Really liking this game so far. I haven't played it, but oh my gosh, it reads so well. I definitely see what Tim Harper was talking about, and you know, all the other people who have talked about this game, the simplicity and stuff, and then, you know, like the skill section I think is really good. I like the core mechanic. But if I was to use that in a retro clone, could I put their description of the core mechanic? Because the description in the Barbarians of Lemuria book is so concise and so perfect. You know, I would have to over explain or under explain something, and I mean, do I need to do that? Also, if anybody can tell me, because I can't find it anywhere, if the Barbarians of Lemuria is part of the open game license, or because I see that there's several games that use that mechanic. I just didn't know, you know, who to contact or anything like that. So if you can get me that information, that'd be awesome. I'd definitely appreciate it. But really, just want to get your consensus on, when is copying a retro clone, the original word for word, when does it become too much? And is it okay to copy certain descriptions and stuff word for word if you want that exact representation in your product? So let me know what your thoughts are. I'd love to hear it. I hope everybody has a great day. Bye.